guys, I am sure I do not need to tell you that Game of Thrones has started. Winter has come. Can we just talk about the first episode for a bit? So promising. So yes, I am here today to show you the hairstyle of Daenerys Targaryen in season 7 episode 1. Hair looks amazing. We got some pretty good shots of it in the first episode. There was even a shot of her from the back, but it was all kind of blurry and focused on something else in the shot, so I couldn't see exactly how it was done, but there's quite a lot that I could figure out by looking up some pictures online and just kind of stopping the videos. This is in the end the closest approximation I could come up with to Daenerys's hair in that or in those scenes in episode 1 of season 7 of Game of Thrones. I am going to show you how to do this today. It is quite a complicated hairstyle, but I'm gonna walk you through all the individual steps, and all the steps themselves are really easy, so you can definitely do this as well. It just takes a little bit of patience. So yeah, let's jump straight into the tutorial. Oh, before we start, sorry. I am wearing hair extensions today. I cannot do this on my own hair. As always, if your own hair is fuller than mine, then you can definitely try this on your own hair. You don't need extensions. I'm just wearing some to be able to do this. It wouldn't look good on my own hair. So yeah, now let's get started. First things first, I'm gonna start with a slightly off-center parting, like Daenerys wears in pretty much all the seasons actually, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, she has a slight side parting. So I'm gonna do that as well. Going to make things a little bit easier with my bangs as well. So I'm just gonna clip away this side for now while I start working on the other side. I've just come a little bit closer to the camera because I'm gonna start by making my top two kind of like smaller lace braids. So to start, I'm going to take a section of hair from the parting right here, divide this into 3 sections, and I'm going to start braiding under. So I'm gonna start with the top one, braid underneath, and then take my bottom section. And then every time I reach the top section, I'm just going to add a little bit of hair to it. And that is going to create my lace braid and ensure it has enough volume to reach all the way back and kind of look decent. So while I'm doing this, I'm making sure to really direct this braid backwards and make sure it is pretty high up on my head. So I'm taking this braid all the way to the back of my head, and then I'm just gonna finish a few more braids here, and then tie this off with a hair elastic for now. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And now the thing with Daenerys is she has a symmetrical hairstyle with a center part, with an off-center parting. So I'm going to have to try and make this braid symmetrical on this side, and it's not going to run along my parting on this side obviously, but the procedure is the same. I'm just gonna divide this hair into 3 sections, start braiding the top one, then the bottom, and every time I braid I'm gonna add a little bit of hair. And of course I have more hair available on this side of my head, but I'm going to try and not add too much to my braid to try and keep the 2 braids of a similar size. Alright, so when I've reached the back, I'm gonna just do a few more rounds here and then tie this off with a hair elastic. Now my bangs are sticking out here a little bit, so I'm just gonna force that down with a bobby pin. If it pops out again, I'll just fix it again. Okay, so now we're going to create 2 more braids on either side of the face. So before I do any of that, I am going to just separate out these kind of pieces of hair in the front, which Daenerys always has. I'm pretty sure it is to hide the edge of her wig. Having kind of baby hairs like this makes it a lot easier to hide where it's attached, but I'm going to leave that out. And then I am going to take a chunk of hair from right here, just the front of my hair. I'm very simply just going to braid this. And I am going to pull this hair back while I braid it so that it's braided in the right direction. Now again, you don't need to braid this all the way down. I think I'm gonna stop about halfway when it reaches the back of my head. And just again tie this off with a hair elastic. Okay, same thing on this side. Again, try to make both of the braids of a similar size. Okay, so those are my two little braids, and now I am going to create two big chunky braids with all of the remaining hair that is right here and a little bit from underneath the ear as well. So just grab a pretty decent chunk from here and I am going to braid this. And this time I am going to braid while pulling the braid upwards, but I am going to make sure that it starts right at the bottom here. So I'm gonna pull it pretty tight down here and then just continue my way upwards. And this is going to be a braid that joins up here. And this braid I am going to braid all the way down. All the way to the ends. And when I reach the ends, I'm just gonna tie it off with a hair elastic again. Okay, same thing on the other side. Be sure to leave this front hair. Just grab a big chunk from here. Okay, it's almost time to start assembling, but I've actually changed my mind about these braids. I do think we need to finish these all the way down, so I'm just gonna do that, braid these to the ends. Okay, braids are done, assembly time. First thing I'm gonna do is to pin these braids together right here at my crown. And I'm just going to use bobby pins and try to kind of discreetly pin these into place. Now Daenerys is wearing a beautiful dragon hair clip in this season, which sits right here and hides any mess happening here. So if you can get your hands on anything similar, that would be wonderful. I'm just gonna have to try and hide a bunch of bobby pins in here. Okay, so then I'm going to take my two smaller kind of center braids and I'm going to tie them together around the center of my head, somewhere right around here. And now I am going to take my two big braids that are on the bottom, and these I am going to take all the way up to here, then cross them over each other and pin them down here, just using a lot of bobby pins again. So then next I am going to cross these braids again, but just underneath where I just tied my two little braids together, like that. And then I'm going to cross them again in the front. And then one last thing I'm going to do is use them to kind of tie together the rest of my hair. And then I am going to tie these two braids together right here on the bottom underneath the rest of my hair. I'm gonna put my hair over it just to make sure it's centered, but you get the idea. Okay, so this should be the base of the hairstyle. Now let me check in the mirror, see if we need to make any adjustments. Yeah, I need these two large braids to be much higher, so I'm gonna help those with even more bobby pins. Okay, so the base of the braiding is done, so now it is time to get out the curling iron. I am going to start by curling all of my ponytail and then I'll be back to show you the rest. My ponytail is now all curled, as you can see. So now all that's left to do is to curl these front bits right here, and that is so easy to do. I'm just gonna take the entire chunk of hair and twirl the ends around my curling iron. I'm not going to go all the way up because you can see Daenerys' hair is only curled from about her ear level. So I'm going to do the same thing. Leave a nice little spiral curl there. And then I'm going to pull this apart to create two smaller curls. And there you have it. There is the Daenerys season 7 episode 1 hairstyle, or an approximation of it, completely finished. So let's take a look from all sides. Again, I am not 100% sure that this is actually what she is wearing, but it is as close as I could get to it, and I think it looks very nice and Daenerys-y in general. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. If you did, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more hair tutorials. I have loads and loads and loads. If you would like to support me on Patreon, I will have a link in the description box. Thank you so much to all of my patrons. I appreciate you so much. I will have another video here that you may also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!